In a world full of noise, two voices rise above the chaos. Ron and Brian. They speak truth. They stir thought. They accidentally help. News, nonsense, and necessary self-care. Join the cult of Ron and Brian, because the work is so important.
Good evening, everybody, on this special Monday night edition of the Ron and Brian, Cult of Ron and Brian podcast, I should say. Brian, how you doing today, sir?
Ooh, I'm doing good. I think I'm doing good. This is a very special edition. This is episode 369.
Nice.
Don't we have the sound effect, Matt? God damn it. Matt
you want
is
the sound effect?
Nice. Matt is the worst producer we have. Anywho. I feel good. I feel good. It is, I feel like we've put the worst of the summer weather behind us. We're recording this. It's early September. It's now, I love this weather. It's like long sleeve weather. It's like high
Best
70s.
Weather, high neck weather.
There's no humidity in the air. I'm not sweating. It puts me in a good mood, makes me realize that today is the day that I bring 100% to the podcast.
You're not sweating yet. That's because we aren't at After Dark, where it is time for Can You Beat Brian later tonight. If you folks are not Patreon subscribers, we of course recommend you sign up. But we will be having our pajama party at 9:30 tonight, where people will take on Brian in a test of wits. And I do feel I've come up with one of the more challenging but fair trivia contests for this evening.
Which is fine, because you have not offered me anything but fair in a long time. Like when anything has to do with but, you're not fair.
Fair enough. Should we get things rolling here, Brian? Into the main podcast. All right. As always, we start off with
Drink of the Week. Na zdrowie.
Salud.
Drink of the Week. Cruncher.
Pause.
Drink of the Week. Drink of the Week. Drink of the Week. Drink of the Week.
So, Brian, I'll ask, as I often do, what did you bring for Drink of the Week this week?
Ron, when you think of Queens, New York, do you think to yourself, fine breweries, top-notch beers, beverages that I shall enjoy?
I can't say that I do, but please tell
me. Me neither, Ron. But today we are going to break that. We're going to break that stigma that the fifth borough of New York, Queens, New York, has. This is Finback Crispy Morning Pilsner. That's right, Finback Brewing, all the way from Glendale, Queens, right near the Atlas Mall, if that's what you're getting at. And look at this fine beer. I'm going to hold it up. Well, I wish that some of that font is just in. I can't see. Oh, wait a second. I would love for this lovely logo to interfere, Ron, with our audience's ability to take a look at this beer. For those people who are listening on the audio, you're missing out on this.
Here, that's a solid looking pint glass right there.
Absolutely. So Ron,
logo.
Absolutely. This is Crispy Morning Pilsner from the good folks over at Finback Brewing. This is a 5.2 ABV. Beer Advocate gives it a score of 87. I just say that it's a great collision of mango and the world of clean lager. It's bright, fruity hop notes with hints of American lager in the background. Also, a subtle hint of corn. You know I like my corn.
You do?
A slight, especially when I have to show ID to get my corn, like in the great state of Texas right now. A slightly fruity fermentation character works with the citrus hops. It's a restrained grassy note, skirts the austerity of the classic continental lager. Thanks to the fine folks over at Finback Brewing, Glendale, Queens. This is Crispy Morning Pilsner.
We'll take a sip, Brian. You've talked it up a lot. Hopefully it is as good as you have talked about right now.
No, it's not that good. I mean, it's drinkable. Don't get me wrong. It's
Right.
drinkable. But when I see something calling itself a Pilsner, fucking, hey, spill everything. When I see something that's advertising itself as a Pilsner, I don't want a hoppy aftertaste. That's the whole thing that's going to That's why I don't buy those IPAs that you love. I drink a Pilsner. There's a hoppy aftertaste here. It's a little. So I'm going to say once again, the fine folks in Queens, Glendale, Queens, you screwed me on this beer. Another $4 down the drain. A good thing I have another one.
That's why you had to move out of Queens. It's because
of course why I had to leave. I've got another one to drink. I'll be drinking another one, so I might be a little sloppy later for after dark. But Ron,
yes, my friend.
What are you drinking?
So went into the fridge to get a throwback from our good friends at Minocqua Brewing Company out of Wisconsin. This is their Antifa Oktoberfest beer. It is a 5.5%. It is listen, it's a German style Feist beer with an American twist. It's got a nice amber hue to it. Take a look at that body right there, Brian.
Oh my gosh. That actually looks like my urine. The last time I had to give a urine sample, that's the same shade that it came out. Doctor said it was all healthy.
It's you got to hydrate, Brian. That's all I'll say.
And
so it's a wee bit bitter, but
oh no,
a good flavor, no doubt about it. I'll enjoy it. I'm only having one tonight, Brian. It's Monday.
Why?
We have to work tomorrow. Because it's a work week,
right? But we do Sunday shows, and you get slobbered on those shows.
It feels different because Sunday's still the weekend.
Okay. It's the weekend.
It's the weekend, and it's time for Beef of the Week.
Ron and Brian's Beef of the Week.
Brian, what's bothering you this week?
This may sound petty, Ron. This may sound something that you cannot get behind. I know. Go figure.
Hardly.
I didn't win Powerball this past Saturday night.
My friend.
I'm going to tell you something, Ron. The last couple weeks we have watched Powerball go from, it was about 750 million when I decided, you know what, I'm going to throw $20 down.
Dollar in a dream.
So, well, $20 in a dream now. Inflation, thanks to Sleepy Joe, prices of lottery kept going up. So then it went up to like 1.1 and then 1.3, 1.5. I think the last one was like 1.8. I'm going to tell you something. I may live in the lap of luxury here in this white ivory McTower, but I'm going to tell you something. The dreams of winning, the vision boarding that you start to do in your head when you put it. When you put your $40 down at Acme in West New York, and you're like, you know what, give me 40 on the Powerball. You feel like a power player because, the people next to you put down 10 and you're like, please, you're not going to win with your $10. I'm going to win with my 40. You start fantasizing. The fantasy starts. It's inevitable. There's no matter how strong you are of a human being, you are going to start visualizing, what would I do if I win? You start scenario planning. I fell victim to it, and the reality of waking up Sunday morning and realizing that somebody in Missouri and somebody in Texas are going to share that $1.8 billion, and not a penny of it is going to go to me. That hurt. That really hurt.
I think you're well within your rights to be upset right now.
I appreciate the fact that you can respect it. Because I did not appreciate
it's terrible
losing.
Schooling in both those states. What are the odds that either of those individuals have any of that money left after a year?
They're not going to understand even how to spend it. First off, the lottery commission could give them a fraction of it, and they wouldn't even notice the difference. They'd be like, yank out their fake tooth, and then they just go back to smoking meth.
Plus, 1.8 billion seems like a lot but the actual payout, if you don't take the annuity, 757 million split two ways, then you pay your taxes on it, Brian. You're lucky to walk away with 300 million after all.
How does it go from 1.8 down to 700? Oh, because you take the one-time payment?
You take the one-time payout versus getting it over 20 years.
You would take the one-time payout?
Everyone says take the one-time payout because in 20 years, I mean, number one, if you're our age, who knows you're going to be around 20 years from now. But number two, the way inflation is, it's worth getting your money up front and investing it, Brian.
But don't you think that the lower payout is them bringing it down in value already to basically work into inflation? Like, I'm actually liking the idea that in 19 years, I'm guaranteed a $20-30 million check.
It's like you'll have a Bobby Bonilla day in your own.
Exactly. Like, look at this friend of the show, Alan Robert. In the 2 games leading to Saturday, he won $23, which is 23 more than he had ever won playing. That's it. That is why Mr. Robert here is a sign of luck, is a sign of fortune, and a sign of a man who's about to go out on tour to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Ugly album. Tour starts September 19th in Bensalem, Pennsylvania, a place close to you, Ron. Will you be attending that concert?
We will be there. The wife and I will be at BGOB. Friends of the podcast as well. We love Broken Goblet. We go to Happy Halloween. Well, some of us go to Happy Halloween every year. Not everybody does. But yeah, those folks that won the lottery in Texas and Missouri, going to put all that money into Trump crypto and lose it.
Correct. I would say, there you go. Look at that. Look at that. He's happy that you're coming.
There you go.
There you go. If you're fancy, if you're really fancy, I might be able to, score you a free beer.
All right. I appreciate that. Brian, don't you have a question for me?
Ron, can I ask you a question?
You sure can, Brian.
What's bothering you?
A lot this week, Brian. I was out more than usual. We're out every single day this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And whenever I interact with the public, it's just beefs up and down. But I think the one that I'm going to roll with, and I think you can probably get behind me on this, is my beef is restaurants that put more emphasis on quantity of food over quality of food. So we're at First Friday Night out in Ambler on Friday, ironically enough. So it's like an outdoor festival. They close down the main streets. The restaurants set up tables outside. There's vendors. There's music. There's everything else. So
that sounds. First off, it sounds like a suburban thing that white people do.
Very much.
How close am I? It's a white thing, right?
I'd say you're 100%. It's not necessarily a white thing, but I would say I can't remember seeing anything other than white people at First Friday in Ambler.
Good.
Fair enough.
Good. Okay.
So there's a restaurant there which I will not name, and we haven't been there, so we were like, oh, let's try it out. The menu seems good, and I don't know about you, Brian. I love a nice, simple fried chicken sandwich. I think done right, one of the most perfect things. So the menu said we take a chicken thigh, we bread it, we brine it in buttermilk, we fry it up, we put it on a fresh made brioche roll with some homemade dill pickles and a little bit of mayonnaise. How good is this going to be?
Sure.
I come out and it's one of these monstrosities where you've got like the regular size brioche roll, but the chicken is just sticking like a foot out each side. Like it is a ridiculously comically large piece of chicken on this. And it was dry. It was burned. It was not a good experience. I would have much rather had just a simple, well-made chicken thigh on this sandwich to give me what I wanted. And that's my beef, Brian. I'm a fat guy and I get upset when I don't get a good meal.
You're one of the few fat guys that are going to complain about getting too much food.
Exactly. I am a mystery. I'm an enigma wrapped inside
of a riddle. I get that, especially it's in a venue where there is competition. I imagine it would bring out quality, except in the American capitalist society. I mean, then we understand that quality immediately crashes while the capitalists all get together and trying to squeeze out profit. But you would imagine they would have put together a quality chicken sandwich for you. Did you tell them exactly who you were?
I had the hat, I had the shirt, I had the temporary tattoos, all of the podcasts. So I think they should have known who I was just by looking at all
All
of the
right.
merch I was wearing that night.
Okay. It's disappointing to me. It is disappointing that your level of celebrity would not afford at least, them to step aside and say, "Hey, we're going to make something off menu for you, Mr. Ron from the Cult of
Chef
Ron and
selection.
Brian."
One more quick thing, and I'm sure you will probably back me up on this. Another beef. When you are in a packed New Jersey Transit train and people are taking up more seats than they should. So that
Are we
other people
talking
have to stand.
overweight people who are taking
No.
1.5 seats? Or are you talking about somebody
I'm saying
putting their bag
people
on the seat next to
bags and luggage and everything else. I saw a group of 3 that had flipped one of the seats around so they could face each other, and 3 people were taking up 6 seats.
Now, at any point, did you and your lady just say, "Excuse me, can you clear off that seat so we can sit down"?
I couldn't even get that far back on the train
Oh,
because
really?
there was hundreds of people standing in the aisle on this train. Like, that's how packed this thing was.
Billy is wondering, did you have the title belt with you?
I did not. And I should have. It's right there. It signifies who I am. Maybe that was the missing piece of the puzzle. So I will bring that out to eat next time.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Next up, we got our
What?
stories of the week. These are the stories that we want to make sure we get out to the people. Brian, what is your story of the week this week?
Ron, my story of the week goes at the core of America, which is gun safety. This is America. We love our guns. We love shooting our guns, and we don't like gun safety. So here, Ron, is a heartwarming story. Takes us all the way out to Illinois, a state known for gun safety and Michael Myers. Headline right off the bat. We're just going to go to the headline just because I like to. I want to wet your whistle in terms of attention. Dad shoots at bird, kills daughter days before her birthday. So, right off the bat, dad shoots at a bird, kills his daughter. And if that's not bad enough, the New York Post is going to sit there and be like, how can we make this headline seem like it's more tragic? Oh, days before her birthday. Like this poor little girl was doing her little happy dance around the living room. Bullet goes right through her head. And the story is not that far from the truth. An Illinois father has been charged after attempting to shoot a bird that flew into a building only for the bullet to go through the animal out a window before it fatally hit his teenage daughter. David Schulthes, 34, of Prairie du Rocher, was trying to shoot a buzzard that had flown into a brick building on July 21st when the bullet pierced a window and struck his daughter, Emma Schulthes, just 6 days before she was due to turn 17. Hopefully that was the only way she was due. Within minutes, emergency responders arrived on the scene and immediately began life-saving efforts, including CPR, said Monroe County Sheriff's Department in a statement. Emma was rushed to St. Louis area hospital, but was later pronounced dead. Her father, David, apparently he said that he only had stuck his arm into the doorway to fire, keeping his head outside to avoid a ricochet. So he was practicing safety on himself.
He made sure he was going to be safe.
And he was such a great aim with the gun that he shot, the bullet went right through the bird, exited the building, striking his daughter. He has been charged with one felony count of reckless discharge of a firearm. He was also charged with concealment of a homicidal death and obstructing justice after investigators said that he had hid the .40 caliber pistol used in the shooting and tried to pressure others not to speak to law enforcement. Do we dare say Father of the Year?
Possibly. I will say 2 things. Number one, people may not know this. Reckless discharge was your nickname in college. But also, not that this is a humorous story, but it sounds like a Looney Tunes cartoon. Because number one, I didn't think buzzards were actually a thing. Like, have you ever in your life seen a buzzard?
Ron, I'm going to tell you something.
Outside of a desert?
No, I was going to say, I am so out of touch with nature that it is very possible that there is a buzzard in the building across from me, and I would have no idea that it's a buzzard. I would be like, yeah, there's a bird.
It seems like, a Daffy Duck, shooting at a buzzard, blowing his own beak off type story. But instead, this
Yes,
guy killed his
absolutely.
daughter.
The only
And
thing
not
that's
only
missing
that,
is Woody Woodpecker.
not only that, all right, mistakes happen. But then to
Sure.
realize you've killed your daughter and attempt to cover it up just really makes you a horrible person. Like, all right, at least own the situation.
Correct. But it sounds like he's a horrible person.
Clearly, I'm not a bright person either.
No, not a bright person at all. Ron?
I mean, yes.
Ron, what's your story of the week?
So my story of the week, Brian, we love ourselves some cosplay. We love ourselves some cons and things of that nature. A popular cosplayer was arrested last weekend after she allegedly threatened to blow up a rival stall at an anime convention in Texas while they were arguing about gamer supplements online. That is probably one of the more American sentences you could ever state. I'm going to repeat that. A cosplayer arrested after threatening to blow someone up after they were arguing about gamer supplements. Kendra Noel Manning, daughter of Eli, I believe, based on this photo, is a 25-year-old cosplayer, better known as Kit Noel online. She was charged with making a terroristic threat to impair public service, a third-degree felony that could see her exchange her cosplay outfits for an orange prison jumpsuit for the next decade if convicted. She allegedly commented on another influencer's Instagram that she would be, quote, planting a bomb in their booth today at the San Japan Anime and Gaming Convention in response to another comment she saw slamming gamer sups, an energy drink marketed almost exclusively to streamers.
Can I just call something out here? And Ron, you may say that I'm being inappropriate here, but I think this story speaks to the power of makeup. If you look at it, obviously,
I wasn't going to, but I can.
May
I was
I?
going to. You may, of course.
Put up the photo of her Spider-Man outfit.
Hold on, let me.
Yeah, Matt, can you pull up her? Matt, please pull up her photo in the Spider-Man outfit, because obviously, your mugshot is probably not your. It's not you at your best. You are not
your finest moment.
Exactly. However, I'm going to say, that mugshot, she did not look like anything that would be noteworthy. I'm going to tell you this: little mascara, little eyeliner thing going on here. Suddenly, I'm wondering how much she's charging a month online on OnlyFans. However, the mugshot, zero interest, could not care less. Let's just move on. So makeup, it does an incredible job.
Well, she was arrested and released on $35,000 bond. And so she is awaiting a trial date. But I think all of us, we're all a little bit dumber from having heard that story, I feel.
I believe so, yes. And I think we all know, I mean, no offense, but I think we all should be smart enough to know, don't make terrorist threats.
Yeah, I think, again, 25 years old, younger, but still should be smart enough to realize maybe,
sure.
And if you're going to make them, don't post them online under your own Instagram handle. Yeah, like I remember when you and your good friend Ted K, you used to mail out death threats, but you mailed them. You used the U.S. mail. You make sure there was no return address.
Well, it was really, we were writing love letters to each other, and he put it together and called it a manifesto. But really, it was just love letters between the two of us.
Understood. Speaking of love, Brian, the love was in the air for you and I yesterday as we were up in the Bronx at Yankee Stadium for CC Sabathia Hall of Fame Day. Looked like it might have been a rainy one, but the rains ended, the clouds parted just in time for the pre-game ceremony and the game. Exciting game that the Yankees actually won against the AL East leading Toronto Blue Jays 4-3. Great seeing CC. CC looks in tremendous shape, dropped a lot of weight since his playing days. Looks like he could still go out and throw 4 or 5 innings.
Sure. I mean, it was just, it was magical.
It was. So, what was your favorite moment of the day, Brian?
I mean, to pick one. I mean, honestly, I don't believe I could say that it was a moment, but it was just the ability to sit next to you for, about 3.5 hours, just commenting on the crowd, the game, the players, life, America. It was just a beautiful day.
All right, fair enough.
What was your favorite moment? For me,
it was the cheese. Without a doubt,
what?
the cheese fries I made. The cheese fries I made.
Oh yeah, they're very salty though. I thought the fries had too much salt on them.
Well, free food. What are you going to do?
You're from Philadelphia, Ron, so you are you expect to receive that level of sodium intake.
We are used to ungodly amounts of sodium in our foods.
Sure.
And I mean, we put Cheese Whiz on top of cheese products. So why should that surprise you?
Oh, I could go for a good cheese stick. I'm not going to lie.
I hear you.
All right,
but
I'm not going to lie.
We were not the most famous people in a baseball stadium this past week, Brian. That honor goes to the person they're referring to as Phillies Karen, who snatched a home run ball from a young boy at a game in Miami against the Miami Marlins. Here is a photo of the Karen in question. I mean, honestly, nailing the Karen with the hairstyle, blonde on top, black on bottom, scowl on her face. So as the story goes, there was a home run hit in the game. It apparently dropped into the row near where this woman was seated, but she did not catch the ball. Another guy
didn't touch it. Never touched it.
Touch it. Never had her hands on it. So he catches it, brings the ball over and gives it to his young son. And this woman goes over and starts yelling at the father. The father, looking like he might have to defend himself, might have to throw hands. And her argument was, well, it landed by my seat, so it should be my ball. So he basically gave her the ball to defuse the situation. But credit to the Marlins organization who got the kid a bunch of Miami stuff, a ball and things like that. And then to the Phillies who had him come backstage, or I guess into the dugout. Now, what do you call backstage area for the game?
I'm going to say the clubhouse.
Brought into the clubhouse where the boy was given a signed baseball bat by Harrison Bader, who had hit the home run ball in question.
Oh, that's very nice.
This woman, now nicknamed Cruella de Phil, clever. I like that. I love that.
I do love that.
Apparently, the entire section booed her for the remainder of the game. She apparently got into arguments with other people in the stands, but people are still trying to figure out who this person actually is. They have identified 2 individuals that have come out and said that it wasn't them. A third person, which I don't know if they've been able to clarify or not. But Brian, we often talk about the cardinal rules of baseball here. What's your take on this?
I thought it was the Phillies versus the Marlins. I didn't think the Cardinals were playing this game.
Sometimes you just make me angry.
Are you kidding me? You're not going to give me credit on that one? No,
right,
listen. There are several rules when it comes to baseballs that land into the stands. The first and foremost one is, and there is no actual line in the sand, but it is that every ball is up for grabs and people will struggle for it until it is clear it's your ball. Such as a ball may bounce in and out of your hands, but if you do not secure it and it goes out, that ball belongs to somebody else.
Right, that's your loss.
You can dive for the ball and literally wrest it out of somebody's hands if they're not going to. But after a second or two, you have to walk away. You can't just walk up to somebody and take it out of their hands once they have actual control of the ball. But if there's still a mad dash for the ball, what is so shocking about this is twofold. One, is that if you watch the video, and let's be brutally honest, this has been analyzed on sports websites so much over the past week that I have watched several different angles of this. She never touched the ball, never came close to the ball. The ball didn't, she was there standing next to a man who literally just muffed it and somehow thinks that lays like automatic claim to the ball.
Like
And
she's
this is the part
owed
that,
something now.
yeah, this is the, I mean, she's owed a Subaru from a 2018 Subaru. We know that society owes her Subaru with that haircut. However, this is the part that I think has most Americans madder than her behavior, is how quickly the father told his son, hand me back the ball, I'm going to give it to this woman. The fact that he caved, and it's not a gender issue. This isn't like, oh, how dare a man give, back down from an angry woman. It was that he should have told her to go fuck herself because she had no claim to that ball. I mean,
That's
one
true.
of the unwritten rules also is that if there is a child near you when that ball lands in your hands, you have to give it to the kid. And I have done this myself. My whole life I wanted a foul ball. One time I got the foul ball, I had to give it to the kid sitting next to me. Friend of the show, Dom and I were at a Mets game once, sitting out in center field. The center fielder was playing catch in between innings with one of the outfielders, turned, threw it into the center field seats. It bounced about 2 rows in front of us, down in front. I believe Dom got the ball. Within seconds, everybody was like, the kid. We all thought Hervé Villachez was going to come out into the stand. No, they were all just pointing to a little kid who was going like this. Dom had to throw the ball to the kid. You give the ball to the little kid, which is, I believe, what Jeffrey Epstein was doing on the island.
You had a good story going. You had a feel good story, and then you had to kind of take it in a direction. Well, next up, Brian, it wouldn't be
really. That's it. You're just abandoning the story like that.
I'm just abandoning the story because it wouldn't be sports talk if we didn't also do NFL locks of the week.
Locks.
Brian, you've got death, you've got taxes, and you've got Brian going 2-0 in locks of the week. Those are the only sure things on this planet. You looked at that line, Eagles -7.5 against the Cowboys. You said, you know what? I think Cowboys are better than they look on paper. Sure enough, Eagles won, but did not cover. And then you said, you know what? The Giants are as bad as they look on paper. You said Washington -6. Washington with the easy win, 21-6 for the 28th year in a row. You go 2-0 your opening week. How did it happen?
Ron, I'm going to tell you how it happened. The pressure will bring out the best in me. It's always been the case. I know when I'm going up against you that I need to bring my A++ game. Why? Because I know that you look at these NFL games like they are written in chalk and crayon for a 2-year-old. Ron, I'm just trying to keep a pace with you as you rip through the NFL season. Again, off to a 2-0 start, Ron. I'd like to say, how do you do it? But I've watched you do it with ease that I understand. It is just part of the magic that you understand is just the way to live. You saw the Chiefs -3 against the Chargers. You said, listen, Kansas City's getting worse every single year. Let's go with the Chargers. Getting 3 points, they win the whole game 27-21. Also, you looked up to the Pittsburgh Steelers laying 2.5 against the lowly New Jersey Jets. You sat there and said, Aaron Rodgers may be still playing, but he is not going to win by 3 points. What did he win by? 2. Once again, Ron, you saw the line of 2.5 and you said that's too much. 2-0 for the season. How do you keep doing it?
Listen, it's a little bit of luck, it's a little bit of knowledge, and a lot of relying on the big man upstairs, Brian.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you have for week 2 of the NFL season?
For this upcoming week, I'm stealing a page out of your book, I should say. I don't think the Giants are that good. I'm taking Cowboys -3.5 at home against those Giants. Only team that might be worse in the NFL right now is Carolina Panthers. I'm taking the Cardinals -4.5 at home against the Panthers. Brian, who do you like this upcoming weekend?
I'm going to tell you, to me, these look real simple. Commanders defeated the Giants by 15. And if you're only beating the Giants by 15 in an NFL game, you have no business only getting 3 points from the lofty Green Bay Packers. Packers -3. That is my first lock of the week. Second one, the Jets last week, week 1, that was their week to win. Expect them to be embarrassing for the next 3 weeks. The Buffalo Bills, who came back in what is a historic landmark game against the Baltimore Ravens in week 1. They are laying 8.5 points against the lowly New Jersey Jets. And I'm going to say Buffalo wins this easily. Packers -3, Bills -8.5. Those are your bets for the week.
All right, bet with your head, not over it. Next up, we're going to jump up to Maine, where 3 people have been infected with active tuberculosis, the world's deadliest disease. They have yet to find any connection between the 3 patients, all of whom were in the Portland area, suggesting they were all infected by different sources. Health officials are working to identify and screen anyone who came in contact with the 3 individuals with the disease. The bacterial infection kills by destroying lung and organ tissue, leading to respiratory failure and organ damage. It can also wreak havoc on the spine, kidneys, and brain. We had a total of 565 people died in the U.S. from this back in 2022. Cases of the disease are on the rise in Maine, although there are no current outbreaks. Why can't we seem to get disease under control, Brian? We had so many of these diseases under control.
Well, it's because we're going in the wrong direction. We are we're encouraging these types of things to happen.
Oh, wait, maybe it's tied to our second story, which is that the Florida Surgeon General says he didn't bother to study whether eliminating vaccine mandates would cure disease. Florida Surgeon General Joseph Ladapo was on the news show circuit this weekend. Here is he's on with Jake Tapper. Jake making the same face that most of us do when we hear stories out of the state of Florida. He said that his team did not study the impact eliminating vaccine mandates would have on the spread of preventable diseases before announcing the policy change. He said that the projections of the impact of ending the mandates are unnecessary, and that ending them is a moral issue about parental rights.
Sure. And the part that I don't understand with this, and I genuinely do understand to a certain extent that there is the right of a parent to say, this is what you can and cannot put in my child's body.
Right.
I get that. What I don't get is then the parent sitting there saying, then I'm going to force my unvaccinated child to hang out with your children because I'm going to force them to go into school. Like if you don't want the polio, you don't want the measles vaccine and whatnot, I get that. But then you should be able to be told where you can and cannot go in public. You should be able to be told by society, if you're not protecting yourself and your fellow citizens from transmitting this disease forward, then you're not allowed to bring your kids to a public school. Take your kids to a private school. Homeschool them. Take them to a school where everybody is. But but I do not understand I have a right to control what is put in my child's body. But then I'm going to take a stand and say, oh, no, we have to shove my kid down everyone else's throat. Not in an inappropriate way. Do not take that as a soundbite out of context. But that's what I don't understand. Is their stance of we should be able to do what we want with our body, but then we don't want to be judged by society as a whole for
Sure.
how we are treating our own bodies. It's no different than the COVID vaccine several years ago.
Yeah, I mean, and it's interesting, but not surprising. If you look at averages in the state of Florida, Florida has an 88.7% vaccination rate amongst kindergartners for measles, mumps, and rubella. That's below the 92% national average. And in addition, cases of hepatitis A, chickenpox, and whooping cough are all on the rise in the Sunshine State, which the Surgeon General blamed on the vaccine being ineffective. Just again, going back to parents' rights, states' rights, all this
Sure.
nonsense. At what point is it a tipping point? How many people will have to die or get sick in the state of Florida for common sense to take over again?
It won't. We are still swinging too far the opposite way. Hopefully, a lot of people will die. And what I love are the parents who sit there and their kids are dying, and they're like, "Well, this is just God's will. God's will. God has a plan for little Tristan, and they're going to God's bringing little Tristan back to heaven to be with him, and we're just his vessels."
He gives its strongest battles to its toughest warriors. And my little 6-month-old son, he's the toughest warrior I've ever seen. He may be dead already, but he's tough.
We dropped little Tristan 15 times on his head, and he keep getting up every time.
That's little Gwendolyn over there with 3 N's, 2 D's, and 5 Y's in her name. She hacked up a lung, but that's why the good Lord gave us 2.
Ooh,
Ooh, doggy. Was
let
the Dukes
go.
of Hazzard
Let him
shot in
Let him
Florida?
drop.
Because we went full Uncle Jesse there for some reason.
That's perfect. And I'm also going to go with this. If this means that I don't go to visit Miami every year, I'm good with that. The state of Florida does not have a lot for me. The question is this, Ron. I know you are our resident medical health director here.
Sure.
But if I received the measles and the polio vaccines as a child, am I still vaccinated against them, or am I now, because so many years have transpired, what level of protection do I still have? I mean, I know I've got protection from the latest strain of COVID. That we know. But what about for the measles, polio, German chickenpox, whatever these states are allowing?
That is, apparently that's still up in the air. We all received the MMR shots when we were kids. The problem is we have lived in a society where the majority of people have gotten that same MMR shot.
Mhm.
So there's not enough science yet to determine, will the MMR vaccine still be effective after a certain age if you're in a society where there's a lot more MMR? I mean, I think the vaccine is a certain level of protection for you. I think the fact that you're not able to go within 500 feet of schools is also gives you a layer of protection as well. Right.
It's just tragic.
Moving on, a new segment that Brian, you suggested, and I love it. It's called CEOs Behaving Badly. First up, we've got a Nestle CEO, Laurent Fruget. He was fired after a senior executive said to be his mistress allegedly caught him in a Zurich hotel with a subordinate and then filed a complaint through the company's anonymous hotline that triggered an internal investigation. I love this. The side chick filing a complaint about this side chick.
Yes. I mean, if that is not karma biting you in the ass, I think it's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. And think about it. You are at the highest level of the corporate ladder. He is the CEO of Nestle. There are, at that point, I'm going to say there's probably 30 companies in the world as big as Nestle, probably. I mean, it's just a gigantic conglomerate. And this guy can't figure out a way to enjoy his sexual proclivities that in a manner that will not jeopardize his career.
Right.
I just don't get it.
I'm going to go out on a limb. There's a lot of women out there, especially if you have money. Like there are,
Sure.
so there are a lot of women looking for a sugar daddy, and this is not
A
to
lot
say
of
anything bad about that, but clearly he could find someone apart from the people he works with.
Did you call him a sugar daddy because he worked at Nestle?
I did not, but that's
It's
clever.
terrible.
That's clever.
Also, Ron, from what I have heard, and this is just a lot from the seeking arrangement websites and the OnlyFans. A lot of women, especially the younger ones, are attracted to money, power, and podcast championship belts.
Really?
It is
I've yet to experience
considered
that yet, unfortunately.
it is an elixir for romance, and it makes sense. It tracks. It tracks.
It's a panty dropper. A lot of people have said that. So the his initial mistress received apparently quite a hefty severance package as a result of the complaint, and she has
Sure.
recently moved on to a high position at another large company. And then the other subordinate also departed Nestle and was given a large severance package as well.
Mm,
So everybody made
boy.
out except this guy.
Yeah. This guy's cooked. Absolutely cooked. Hey, fuck him. He fucked up.
He did.
It is just a sign of keep it in your pants, especially at work.
Next up, the chairman of the Japanese beverage giant Suntory has resigned amid a police investigation into his purchase of a supplement that could be illegal in Japan. Brian, you are our senior Asian correspondent here on the Cult of Ron and Brian. Talk about Takeshi Nanami and what he did that caused him to resign.
Ron, we all love Suntory whiskey. We all love CBD supplements. So Takeshi Nanami is the CEO of Suntory. He was traveling. I believe he was in the United States and flying back to Japan. While he was in the United States, he had complained to a colleague of his about how he had been suffering from the effects of jet lag. He was struggling to sleep. They recommended that he purchase some CBD supplements. Now, these are created. These are supplements. The CBD compound, I guess you want to say, is derived from the cannabis plant. However, the THC, which is the psychoactive component within the cannabis plant, has been removed, so it does not have any of the quote unquote effects that will make you high, but it will, in theory, provide some of the medicinal effects that the cannabis plant is alleged to have. So he was in possession of these CBD supplements when he landed into the Japanese airport. Immediately, customs, which has in Japan, they have one of the world's strictest drug laws, where they have criminalized both the use and possession of cannabis. They have a zero tolerance approach to illegal drugs. He was arrested for possession, and in quite a sign of the difference between an American executive and in Japan. Mr. Takeshi Nanami, which is also a lot of people said that he was at the Nakatomi Plaza on Christmas Eve.
Really?
That's not true.
All right.
Not true at all. Not true. He does not know any of the passcodes to the 8 layers of protection to the vault. He cannot help you with that. Also, you know what he can't help you with? Get any Suntory whiskey. Why? Because he resigned. He resigned in shame. Japan, with their zero tolerance, as I said earlier, just being in possession of CBD supplements, he is forced to resign, while the head of Nestle is literally dropping loads of any female worker within his sphere of interactions, and he's trying to still keep his job. Keep my job.
What's also amazing, this gentleman right here, 66 years old, looks amazing for 66 compared to the Crypt Keeper. I'm gonna put his photo back up on the Nestle guy. Yeah. This guy, this wrinkled piece of crap, 63.
Yeah.
3 years younger. But that's
Sure,
what
sure.
whoring around and monetizing water for people will do to you. It
Sure.
sucks the life out of your face.
Absolutely. Anybody that
there-
monetizes water.
Is there a more horrible? I mean, all right, there are some more, but isn't Nestle one of the most horrible companies on the planet? Like they literally
they
buy up water rights, and just to be able to profit off of them.
They can go fuck themselves.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Exactly. Next up, some weird news to talk about. I mean, again, we attempt not to kink shame people on this show, but sometimes it gets very difficult. Such in the case of the surgeon that decided that he wanted to have his own legs amputated. A gentleman by the name of Neil Hopper. He was over in the UK, I believe, an NHS vascular surgeon. Here is a picture of him in the hospital. He had his own legs removed. He's been jailed for 2 years and 8 months for insurance fraud and possessing extreme pornography. That's an interesting follow-up to that.
Wait, excuse me. Is that a crime to possess extreme?
Apparently in the UK. In America, it depends on where you live. But in the UK, we'll see.
What's the definition of extreme? I mean, I may have to go throw out some hard drives right now.
Well, we'll have to see. Sorry, there were 3 body mutilation videos that had a quote exceptionally high level of harm in them. So I guess that's why they refer to them as extreme. So what had happened? He was a surgeon. He had carried out hundreds of amputation operations before having his own legs removed in 2019. He had lied to insurers by claiming that the injuries to his legs were the result of sepsis and not self-inflicted. However, he had used ice and dry ice to freeze his own legs, so they had to be removed. He admitted to 2 counts of fraud and 3 of possessing the extreme pornography, and said that he had a sexual interest in amputation. That
Jesus
again,
Christ.
we try not to kink shame around here.
Sure, we don't want to kink shame.
The flip side of the coin is he received almost £500,000 in insurance claims from this incident. So, I mean, you think it was money involved, or he just really got off on having his legs removed?
I think he is going to be rubbing those nubs in a way that is going to make you and I very uncomfortable.
All right.
What?
No, I was just the legs are bad enough. Let me give you some more information on the extreme pornography. So again, they were connected to videos of body mutilations that he had purchased online. He was identified following investigations into Marius Gustafsson, who ran the Eunuch Maker website.
We're familiar with that website.
That's the Eunuch Maker. We've actually done stories.
We know this website.
Prosecutors told the court that Mr. Hopper had bought 3 videos from the website for £10 and £35, respectively, showing men willingly having their genitals removed.
That's not a lot of money.
Now, Gustafsson, however, was jailed for life with a minimum term of 22 years at the Old Bailey in 2024 for leading an extreme body modification ring. Great comment from Janelle. Anyone else find it ironic that his name is Hopper? Because that's really all he can do now. You just stick a pogo stick on each leg.
Yeah. And knowing he's going to get artificial legs. You know he's going to go out and get artificial legs.
He already has. Yeah, he went back to being a surgeon and was wearing prosthetic legs as a surgeon. So
no, this story is just unnerving to me. I'm going to take a pass. Taking a pass on this. Ron, may I ask you a question?
You may, of course.
Have you seen this past week Donald Trump's card to Jeffrey Epstein?
I've seen it. I don't know that I understand it. It's
Is there
disturbing in many ways.
any way that you can make sense of this for
I
me?
can't. I can't.
Because I don't understand what this is. It is for people who are, I mean, this is all over the internet. We're putting
Right.
up an image. So apparently, Jeffrey Epstein had a big birthday one year, and everybody was supposed to write him individual notes. And supposedly, Donald Trump's, where this is his signature at the bottom. I mean, it is like a voiceover where Donald says one line, Jeffrey says the other, and none of it makes sense.
No, it's completely incoherent. It's not. I don't know if it's supposed to be funny. If I don't know, I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. But it does look like a. I don't even know. Is it supposed to be a face with eyes? Is it supposed to be an armless woman with breasts? So many.
Well, we
questions.
know it's not Donald because of the way the hourglass figure goes
it
in.
caves
We know
in
that
rather
Donald,
than going out.
with his cholesterol and heart issues, he rounds out. Very disturbing shit. I don't know what the fuck that is.
But also this week, his Department of Justice is now discussing proposals to potentially block transgender Americans from buying firearms. So apparently, we do have the capability of controlling guns in some way, shape, or form, just not for the people that it should be controlled. This is in the wake of the deadly Minneapolis Catholic Church shooting conducted by Robin Westman, who identified as a trans woman. I mean, it makes sense, Brian. Trans people, I believe, count for 1.8% of mass shootings, while white males count for 60%. But, we don't want to try and take the guns from the white males.
Why do we want to do that?
Why do we want to do that?
They're the ones, and I'll tell you why, Ron. They're the ones that we can trust to handle their handguns. It's the trans people, because this one trans person. Actually, no, there was another one about 2 years ago that also blew up a school. Another trans. It was a biological male to female, I think it was, and she started shooting up schools, if I'm not correct. So this is the second one. But clearly, two trans people in all the trans people. Clearly, there is a correlation, cause and effect. We need to keep the guns away from them. It's clear.
Without a doubt.
However, this is where it gets interesting. NRA, pretty quiet, not really stepping up forward on this one. Not really coming. No, I don't really see the gun owners really coming out in mass saying, "You better not touch our guns. Don't touch our guns."
What is also, it's been a busy week for Trump because he also managed to have the Department of Defense renamed the Department of War. So we've got that going for us. Grocery prices, not any lower. Utilities still high.
Sure.
Tariffs, crippling the American consumer. Farmers looking for bailouts. At least we got the Department of War, Brian.
Damn right. We like that Department of
right.
War, don't we? We like their war. Yeah, it's lunacy to me. I mean, the level of propaganda that this guy has mastered, and it's not even him personally, it's his advisors.
Yeah.
But they really do understand the messaging that they've done so well on it. Really, you got to give them a lot of credit.
He gives two shits about what the Department of Defense was named. Somebody was like, hey, Mr. President, we should change this to Department of War. And he was like, I love it. It's the best idea. Many people have had wars before. My wars are going to be the best.
This is my idea, right, guys? Yes, this is your idea. Okay. Yeah, it's stupid. Just so fucking stupid.
Hand me the paper so I can take my makeup covered blotchy hands and sign it.
Yeah. I mean, we don't even know what's going on with that man's skin.
Do you think Melania has PTSD from feeling those hands on her?
She probably does not interact with him very much. But if you look at where she came from, no, listen, she probably got felt up allegedly. I mean, hypothetically speaking, she probably got touched by far nastier billionaires.
Good point. That's just the way the world is, Brian. Let's try and sneak in one more story here. We had talked about some inappropriate kids' clothing that had made its way. I forget if it was into Amazon or Target, but here's another one. It was a woman's health specialist who took to social media to highlight a awkward design flaw in a pair of Target pants. This is apparently a collab between sportswear brand Champion, which I did not realize was around still, and Target USA. They have a center pleat in the crotch area. In her video, she then tries them on, which when worn, it's kind of, I mean, we don't like to use terms like camel toe on the free podcast, but it's giving vulva vibes, I think is the best way to put it.
Ron, is there any way you could zoom in on this? No, just kidding. Just kidding.
Do you want me to send that?
Why on earth? Why on earth would somebody design pants with that little flap right there?
Yeah. I do love, again, I love comments, people saying, I think you're supposed to put your lip gloss in there. Another one says that's a Majora design flaw. Someone else said the vulvosity. And somebody said, is that color called camel? The vulvosity. $30 though, Brian.
Vulvosity is genius.
Not a bad price for pants in this day and age.
It's actually not bad. It's really not bad. You can't really complain.
Nope, not at all.
But I still wouldn't wear it, and that's terrible.
Well, I mean, you're also not a child or a woman that we know of.
I could be on the way. That could be the direction I'm headed.
Do we want to let's whip through some quick celebrity obituaries? We lost some of the greats. Brian, you are our resident baseball purist fanatic. We lost former Mets skipper Davey Johnson this week.
Listen,
tell the people about Davey.
I will just say this as somebody who grew up in Queens, not far from Citi Field. The Mets of the 1970s and early 80s were the laughing stock of baseball. They were today's Colorado Rockies. They were today's Chicago White Sox. They were today's Minnesota Twins. They were today's other team. But there was, in a town where the New York Yankees were celebrating World Series championships, the New York Mets were the bastard stepchildren of New York. It was for the hapless sports fan. Davey Johnson, who I believe came from, I want to say either Atlanta or St. Louis. I could be thinking of Keith Hernandez. Listen, he came to town as the manager and just whipped that team into shape, made some very smart staffing decisions with general manager Brian Cashman. Fly over here. Fuck it. With Brian Cashman, they got some play. They got Gary Carter. They got Keith Hernandez via trades. They were able to organically through the farm system bring up Dwight Gooden, Darryl Strawberry. But it was the idea that Davey Johnson did one thing that had not been done since 1969. He brought respectability to Shea Stadium, and he brought a world championship, something that New York Mets fans have not seen since, approaching 40 years of hapless losing. God bless them, those people who still show up there and give their money to Frank Cashin. But it's Davey Johnson. Couldn't tell you what he's been up to since. He won that World Series.
Apparently.
Dipped out. Yeah, apparently dipped out and died. Dip, dodge, duck, dive, and die. Davey Johnson's guide to dodgeball.
Next up, Giorgio Armani.
Jesus Christ. What is wrong with that person? Oh my God!
I have to admit,
it's the Crypt
did not realize was still alive, dying on Thursday at his home in Milan at the age of 91. His death was announced by his company, the Armani Group, which said that he had been working, quote, until his final days. A lot of things came from Armani, adapting the men's suit to be more casual, more friendly for the workplace, coming up with women's pantsuits. The man was a revolutionary, Brian. And I know I remember you were the drip king back in college,
Sure.
Head to toe in Armani. This one has to sting a little bit for you.
It stings, except, I mean, as much as we want to celebrate Armani's hits, we also have to discuss some of his misses. Let's not forget the time when he sat there and put out a pair of women's pants that had a little flap right in that front area, that where the pants kind of separated to create like this little vulgarity, or whatever the word you used. Sorry.
Vulvosity.
I owe everybody an apology.
There you go. Next up, Supertramp star Rick Davies passing away at the age of 81 after battling multiple myeloma, a type of blood cancer, for the last 10 years. He was singer and keyboardist for the group Supertramp. A lot of people don't realize Brian's nickname in college, also Supertramp. What was the one album that everybody had growing up? Breakfast in America?
Breakfast in America. Breakfast in America, yes.
Take so many good tunes home.
On that. Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
Don't Bring Me Down, Bruce.
Don't Bring Me Down. No, that's ELO.
Bruce. Was it?
ELO was Don't Bring Me Down.
You're right. It feels very interchangeable with ELO and Supertramp.
When I was young, I was so miserable. Where'd that go?
All right. Well, Brian, this hour, as always, has flown by, and we need to get ready for After Dark, which is available live for our bronze Patreon members or higher. That's rated just $10 a month or higher. You get access to the live After Dark. Once a month, we do a pajama party where we have all of our Patreon subscribers on. We play a little trivia game. Tonight, it is Can You Beat Brian? We've had some delays, so we're doing August's game this evening at 9:30. So if you are not a Patreon subscriber, or if you're a Patreon subscriber and you are not at the bronze level, go to cultofronandbrian.com, click in the upper right-hand corner, and you can join or up your subscription level. And listen, it's just the right thing to do. Also, Brian was rocking a trucker cap earlier. He had the pint glass. All you need to do if you want some great swag, cultofronandbrian.myshopify.com. I wore our Cracker Barrel inspired logo redo t-shirt to Yankee Stadium yesterday. It was a hit. Brian's got the coffee mug as well. Folks, head on over there. In addition to our coffees, our teas, you can get our merch and other great material that we have designed and get it shipped direct to you. Right now, we are offering free shipping on our merch. The price you see is the price you pay. We're waking dogs up for free. Sorry about that, Dom, but I'm sure the dog will just go right back to sleep. It's what dogs do, Brian.
Sure. That's what they do.
They work the least out of most animals out there.
They wake up and go to sleep. That's what they do.
Yeah, that's all they do. Brian, anything else before we wrap up this tremendous episode 369 of the Cult of Ron and Brian?
No, I think this was another successful show. I'm just honored to be part of it.
It was a good time. I love you, my friend. It was great seeing you yesterday.
You too, buddy.
I look forward to
Always.
After Dark. Folks, thank you for joining us. We will catch you again next week.
Thank you for joining us for the latest episode of the Cult of Ron and Brian. A non-tax deductible contribution can be made by subscribing to our Patreon. Visit cultofronandbrian.com and click on Become a Patron. We'll see you again next week.